My name is Nick. I'm a production manager at Live Workshop. I'm here today to do my presentation for the manufacturing plant team in the current state. Please be aware that we are video recording the presentation today. So if you can save your questions to the very end, we'll have a small Q&A session at that point. Thank you. So, challenges. It's important today that I highlight the fact that we have a lot of challenges around the manufacturing plant team at the moment. And it's an urgent requirement that we focus on that and strengthen the team going forward from the top down. So from a leadership perspective, we are struggling to provide a resource to really focus on the plant areas, solely on the plant areas. This is impacting on our operators in regards to upskilling their technical know-how in terms of operating day to day and their skill level, because they're not being rotated around all components of the plant team. So when we do have people away, we have no backup, which is impacting our production areas significantly as it's causing downtime in the assembly areas. A number of the key components of our product, for instance, the scudgeons, are required at the start of the assembly. So if our machine is down and we don't have an operator, that's a significant impact to our customer. So I'll be offering some recommendations going forward on what we can do to help strengthen the team and some of the things we can implement going forward. So the current state, as I mentioned before, we currently have a caretaker, a supervisor looking after the plant team. However, his sole focus is not the plant team. He's looking after one of our largest production areas as well. So he's quite stretched in his day-to-day operations and supervision availability. And this is impacting our operators quite significantly as we're getting the day-to-day stuff done, but there's no improvement, there's no forward thinking, future thinking, or focus on any kind of improvements and technologies going forward for manufacturing. We also have a leading hand operating in a higher role looking after the plant area, and he definitely has some weaknesses around communication side of things. And we definitely need him to utilise him more on the operational side where his strengths lie to help support the team, get them trained up and upskilled. I spent some significant time with the guys on the shop floor, and around about a day each operator on each piece of equipment, and really questioned them in regards to what are the challenges, day-to-day challenges around process, operations, flexibility, technical aspects, preventative maintenance on the machines. And I really got some great feedback from the guys from the shop floor. So I believe that was a great little opportunity for us to get my head around exactly where our pain points are. And it was quite evident that people are just not getting the focus that they need and not getting the attention and focus around the training aspects. So we're finding we have a lot of operators that are quite efficient on maybe one machine. However, they're not offering that flexibility and backup across the entire plant team. So I've made this little skills matrix up and broke down the plant area by machine and process. Basically represented all the plant operators that we have available to us. That's casuals and permanents, which is another topic we need to discuss. However, I represented them from a train aspect from a 0, which is an empty circle, to a 4, which is fully trained and competent on that machine and process. As you can see, alarmingly there's a number of the operators are not fully efficient across our entire plant team. So a lot of them can do some aspects of the machine or run one machine. However, if someone's away, there's no flexibility or backup, which is a real concern for us in the production environment, because if we get downtime on one of our plant machines, it's critical for us in the assembly process that we have that support. I think it's really important that we also provide a plant team lead here that will be able to focus and help strengthen the team going forward to provide that flexibility across the board. So recommendations, what I recommend going forward is to hire a standalone plant supervisor, plant engineer supervisor, who has the mechanical know-how and experience of operating and leading a plant team. This is critical, I believe, going forward, as it will help support the team offer the guidance and credibility from that perspective in terms of knowing they have to operate machines, the ins and outs and mechanics of them, preventative maintenance, also developing and focusing on standard operating procedures and risk assessments for machine operation, and future investments in technologies and improvements down the line. The structure would look as follows. So the role would report to myself as production manager, with the plant leading hand reporting to the production engineering supervisor and staff under them. I think this is important to have a standalone production engineering supervisor looking after the plant team, as they can offer that support, focus not only on current operations but future operations and improvements. So basically, in summary, I think what we need to do is really focus our energy and attention into recruiting and hiring a standalone plant supervisor with a mechanical engineering degree, who can help support the team, lead the plant team, review and manage the asset registers, and really start to put some preventative plant maintenance measures in place, developing standard operating procedures for our plant and equipment, and also training and upskilling our staff on operators across the board. We also need to reclassify our leading hand, who we can obviously utilise a bit more in terms of the maintenance and operator perspective, to help again support our operators on the shop floor and the operational environment. Comes to the end of the presentation, so if you can hold off on your